So this is the NOX3D Q1R wall mount, screwed into a piece of wood. You can see the screw holes there, and then just on this aluminium profile frame, which is quite handy. I didn't really want to put this into the wall, and in fact it's easier to demonstrate it from this sort of orientation. Okay, so we have a wheel here. We have a Q1R. So we put it on there. You can just see close up. And it holds on without actually flipping the top latch. However, it's not particularly stable, as you can see there. It does hold on just by, but it is pretty loose, yeah. So you can just see that it doesn't really hold on. So let's use the latch. And it's not that much better, unfortunately. So what's happening is, because it's quite a heavy wheel anyway, this particular one, you can just see it's weighing it down. And it's not falling off, but it really is pretty close to falling off without too much effort. I am concerned that, yes, that latch is really not strong enough. It's not really suitable, which is kind of unfortunate, really, because let's do it again. You can just see there, it seems okay, but you know, it doesn't take a lot. It's just you know, it's just leaning over, and it's just really close to falling off. So we'll try another wheel. So that is one wheel. Try something which is a little bit smaller. So there you go. So again, it kind of holds on just by itself, but not very well, but yeah. There you go, no hands. But we do the latch, and yeah, it's not really doing a lot there. You can just see I'm really putting very little pressure on that. If this was on a wall and you rubbed against it, and a wheel with a button plate, anything with some carbon fibre shifter paddles, it falls badly and you're going to damage some of this sort of stuff. So I do not trust this quick release using that latch, unfortunately. But there is an alternative way to use this, and I will show you in a moment. Okay, so if we look down there, there's a bolt, well, a nut, sorry, there's a nut in there, and it doesn't actually do anything. So if we put the quick release on there, you can just see from this angle, you can just see there's a hole that goes straight down. So that hole isn't really doing anything. And I'm not sure why they included that nut in there, because it really has no purpose. But that hole does have a purpose, and I will show you. Okay, so this is a seat post skewer lever thing you get for bicycles. You get them on eBay for under £2 from China, so they're easy to find, and they're generally these sort of things. And one thing I know of is NOX3D are actually selling, well, will be selling, they may not be currently, selling a version of this quick release, effectively using with one of these. And therefore I can actually test it, because this didn't come from NOX3D. I actually own this. I had this already because I bought it as a spare for the base side for the Q1R, because the Q1R quick release, on the actual base side, it uses one of these to clamp it down. So I bought this as an extra, just in case if the one I had failed, the one that came with the Q1R when I first originally bought it. I thought I'd get this in preparation. Never has, so I've never needed it, but it's good that I had this, because it means I can actually demonstrate how this works and how much better it is using one of these. Okay, so first off, we're going to take that nut out, because it doesn't actually, it's not doing anything. So I'm just going to remove it. There you go, so just take that out, and we'll put this in. So there, ideally you'd want to use a spring here just to hold it up, but these don't come with springs, but if you have a spare spring, you can just had one yourself, but you'll see why in a moment. Let's try it with the Fanatic wheel again. We can find out. That's too loose, so I'll just tighten it up. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so now you can see from that angle we now have that lever, and that's holding, sandwiching these two parts together, the quick release and the actual wall stand. And this is exactly how the Q1R works on the wheel. So it's a perfect kind of way it works. It's just nice and stiff now. It's not going to come off. You can see that, no problem. And it's easy to remove. Flip it and pull it off. And of course, that's what I mean. If you had a spring there, hold it up, and that just makes it a bit easier to push it in. So yeah, a little bit more effort to hold it up to get it in there. I probably need to loosen it a tiny bit. And yeah. Get a little bit more fiddly without the spring in there to hold this part up, but yeah, there you go, it works, and yeah, it's pretty stable. I'm going to put the heavier one on. Again, if it's on a wall, obviously I'm not going to be able to really go behind, so let's do it through the frame, because that's how you're going to have to, well, I wish I'd have to do it, which is a little bit more fiddly without having a spring to hold it up, but there you go. And yeah, so a little bit of wobble, but it's holding on, and you know, it holds the whole thing up now. So yeah, it just shows you it's strong enough. So I have actually left this on the quick release for a couple of days, just leaving it like that, and done a few kind of a bunch of tests, just kind of taking it off, putting it back on, putting all my trying out all my different wheel rims, all the Q1Rs of course, and it does work. I'm just making a bit of a meal of it, but yeah, it is generally a bit easier than what I'm demonstrating on this using the lever, but you can see that's perfect. Curiously, so you can just see the clearance between that bolt and the bottom of the quick release is pretty slim, but all my wheels are fine other than one. So I haven't worked this one out yet because I haven't taken off the quick release on the wheel, but I will show you that this one on my Sparco P310. So there's nothing particularly special about about it, but for some reason I wasn't able to get the clearance from the bottom bolt. So that bottom bolt there was just colliding with this, which you'll see here, and I can't get it on. So yeah, it's really strange. And even if I take off the post, it simply will not go on. And if you look closely, you can just see just that bit there. It's pinching, and I got it on, but now it's super tight. That's really tight. Yeah. Yeah, that's no good. So yeah, so it's kind of odd one. I don't know why, because it's the same. It's very curious because it's the same nuts that are used on these other wheels, identical nuts. Yeah, for some reason that one it seems to be too close. I'm not sure what's going on there. And I have looked at it with my cursory look at it, and I can't really tell a difference without taking the quick releases off. But they're both 70mm bolt pattern quick releases. They look like the same type of design. the kind of star shape. So I'm not sure why this one doesn't want to fit on there. It's very curious. I mean, it's close on all the others, but it's absolutely fine. You get enough clearance and it doesn't seem to be a bother. But for this one, it doesn't seem to work. I don't know why that is, very strange. And just another one. Here's another one of my wheels, put it on there. And yeah, that goes on there as before. And flip the latch, and again, just too loose. So that's just not fit for purpose, that latch, unfortunately. If you do buy this wall stand, if you don't buy them with the posts, then just buy them on eBay, and you'll be okay. So yeah, it's okay. It's not a bad little device. It's made from it's printed well. It's made from PETG. It's going to last. I put it through a bunch of tests before off camera, just putting it, taking the wheels on and off, just see if I could wear, because obviously it's plastic against metal, and it's not showing any problems at all. And yeah, there's nothing kind of warped, there's nothing cracked, so it should hold up. And the fact is, I did it dozens of times. I put all my wheels on, took them off, and just kind of went through a process of just basically accelerating the wear, what you'd normally get if you're going to be using this sort of device. And it's actually held up fine. So as a design, there's nothing wrong with it, other than that latch, which basically does very little, unfortunately, and you need to use that. So do bear that in mind. It's obviously useful for NOX3D to see this sort of video, because obviously they can see it being used with a bunch of different wheels, and maybe have a rethink about the design, maybe just sell this version with the post and basically abandon this one, because I'd say it's certainly not fit for purpose using that latch, unfortunately. But there you go. So that's my review for the NOX3D Q1R wall mount, and there you go. So I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching, as always. Happy simming out there, and bye bye.